Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Back on the Bossman Show here, Coach Bryan Petersen, South Dakota State Jackrabbits out of Summit League with me today on the Bossman Show. Coach, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Great to see you, man. Coach, let me ask you, man, how's it been moving that seat over, man? All the responsibilities you've been having to do meetings, talk to parents more than ever, fundraising. How's it been for you, man, moving that seat over, buddy?
It's been great. I mean, obviously, there's a lot that goes into it. You know, when you make that move to be a head coach and run a Division I basketball program, but it's been exciting. I'm pretty fortunate because I've been at South Dakota State now for 6 years, so it's not a brand new university, a brand new community for me and my wife and family. So we know what we're getting into, and so obviously we got some familiarity with the job. But definitely the job presents some new requirements and some different things that I had to do that I didn't have to when I was an assistant. But been super fun experience. Obviously, college athletics and college basketball in the springtime is a little wild right now. So navigating all that with the portal, NIL, and just all the changes that are going on. But it's been a blessing these last 3 months to have the opportunity that I've had to become the head coach here at South Dakota State. And been really exciting the last month because we finally got to basketball. Our players are on campus and got to coaching and not doing quite as much as all the other stuff, like you mentioned, like with the fundraising and, meetings and all that stuff. So it's been a lot of fun and definitely very lucky.
And Coach, for you, man, talk about the administration. They do a great job of supporting you guys. A lot of fans come out and support you. So talk about how the community and the administration really pours into you and your team and really gives you all that extra boost on and off the floor.
It's a great question. I actually haven't been asked that a whole lot, when I've done interviews this spring. That's a great question because it's why South Dakota State is special. President Barry Dunn, our president, he's a tremendous leader. He cares about the student experience and he really cares about athletics. Justin Sell and Slade Larscheid are two, our athletic director and deputy AD are tremendous. And so, yeah, when you talk about administration, like I'm a very lucky coach because I have great administrators that I work for. And it's a team effort. I think they've also done a great job of making our athletic department a big team, so we're all supporting each other. And I think that's what's made South Dakota State special because I think they really put a lot of resources into our athletic programs for men's basketball in particular. It's very, well supported from an admin standpoint, and then obviously from a fan base. That's another thing that makes South Dakota State special is the community and our fan base, supports our program tremendously and very consistently too. For mid-major basketball, there's not a lot of places that, have the support that we do consistently, night in and night out that show up and support our student athletes.
No doubt. And talk about playing in the summer league, how competitive it is and how no matter where you go play in the summer league, it's going to be a tough night. The environments, the coaching is top notch. So talk about the summer league as a whole and how, but you all have so much success in the summer league, how South Dakota State is typically a target every year.
Yep. No, we have been. I've been up here now for 6 years, and I've experienced it every year. We're definitely, I think, circled probably on a lot of summer league teams' radar, every season. And but it's a very well coached league. I think it's a very skilled league. It's a very usually pretty high IQ league, and I think pretty well scouted for the most part too. I think so. When you put all those factors in, I think that's what makes it pretty competitive every single year. And now with, way that college basketball is going, like it's, the coachings have to even, get a little better because everybody's kind of got a new roster for the most part, or got a lot of changes in the roster, every year. And I think our league, and I've been a part of it as an assistant coach. Our coaches do a really good job of getting their teams kind of put together and, getting them playing pretty well when it comes to January, February, when we all start playing each other in summer league regular season action.
So, Coach, kind of what you said, having a new team every year, how's it important in the summertime really to kind of let your guys play to see what you have before you get to fall semester in August? Because you kind of know how to tweak and make the pieces fit together, which is all coming together for 1 year. But let's see what you have before you have to just jump into it come fall semester.
No, that's a great way to put it. And we've actually done that, a lot more the last 2 or 3 seasons. And I told even my staff that I have with me now is, I want to see our guys play a lot more. We still will do some drill work. We'll do some skill work. We'll definitely kind of put in our concepts offensively and defensively. But we want to see our guys just hoop, and play 5-on-5 and see how they all fit together. And, strategically, hopefully us coaches will do a good job of mixing and matching like lineups that are together certain days in these summer workouts because it is really important to get them on the floor and just let them see how they play. We got to get them better, and we obviously got to teach them some things, and specifically what we're going to do here at South Dakota State. But I do think it is very valuable to just let your guys get out and play a little bit in the summertime and just kind of see naturally what they do really well amongst each other.
And how important is the weight room piece of it and the nutrition piece of it because you have a long season ahead of you, and you have to really be in shape, eat right, recover the right way, sleep right. So talk about how important it's teaching your young men, especially the ones doing this program, about those things off the court. That's very important for, of course, recovery and being ready to build that endurance for a long year. Hopefully it runs through March.
Yeah. So player development is a huge part of our program. And it's been a huge part of South Dakota State men's basketball before my time. Over the last 10 to 15 years, this place has done a great job of developing, players and getting them better. And the weight room, the nutrition piece that you're talking about is as important as any of it. We could talk about shooting skill workouts, ball handling workouts, all that stuff that's out there that we see all the time on social media, which there are some really good things with that. And we got to do a great job as a staff with that, with, getting our players better on the court. But that strength training piece is just as important, if not more so in the summer, because, here at South Dakota State, we get talented players. We get pretty good athletes, but we don't get elite 5-stars. We don't get guys that are just like ready to rock right away body-wise. Whether they got to do something with their body, whether it's, add muscle, add strength, get more athletic, get a little quicker, just whatever it is. Like, we don't get finished products with their bodies. So it's really important for us to invest in that. Our strength coach, Eric Adolph, that we've had for over a decade now, I think is one of the best in the business in building guys' bodies up and training basketball players, not just body build. He does a great job of getting our players better to compete on the court in Division I level. And then we invest a lot in our nutrition. We put a lot of money into how we feed our guys throughout the summer. We've also invested in a few other things, to kind of mobility wise with some yoga stuff and some other different training that we've been doing and trying to add throughout the years. To make sure, number one, they're getting ready for the season, but then like your question, to make sure they can maintain a level of high performance throughout the entire season, because it is a grind. College basketball is a long season. It's the longest one out of any of the sports in Division I, and it definitely takes a toll on the body. So you got to make sure you build it up over the course of the summer.
And during the year, Coach, I'm really interested in sports science as well and performance, because in practice-wise, you kind of go hard early in the week, then kind of as the week goes on, kind of not as hard, and then having that one-day prep on the back end, it's kind of like you said, to travel, you're doing a walkthrough on that Friday for the most part. So how you kind of adjust the weeks to kind of make sure your guys stay healthy that way during the year?
You got to listen to your staff a little bit. You got to trust our athletic trainer, Woody Dahl. We got to trust Eric Adolph, our strength coach, because they have a pretty good feel for where our players' bodies are at, and kind of get their input and see what we need to do on a day-to-day basis. But, I'm a big believer in, we don't have to be on the court forever. But we're still going to go hard. We're going to be very intentional with what we do. From a mindset standpoint, we're always going to be hopefully optimal focus and intensity. But yeah, there might be some days in the season where we can't go 2 hours. We're only going to go an hour and 15 minutes, but that hour and 15 minutes that we're going to go, we're going to get better. We're going to grow. We're going to be intentional with our time. And so I don't necessarily love to pump the brakes on and hey, we're just going to go light today or whatever. I just feel like the duration a little bit, can be adjusted and still get a lot of work done on the court. But it definitely, there's but I'd say first and foremost for me, I gotta do a good job of listening to the people that are around me and other staff that kind of say, hey, coach, we need to chill out today, or, maybe not go quite as long today, or maybe go a little lighter today because our bodies are feeling a little fatigued.
No doubt. I will ask his coach as well. So when you look at recruiting a young man, whether being in the portal, high school kid, JUCO guy, what characteristics are you looking for in that young man off the court for his character and integrity that you want to really be a part of your program and pillars of your program?
Yeah. Well, we have a set of core values here that we really, talk a lot about, and really more we try to show with our players on a day-to-day basis within our culture. And so they got to have those core values. They got to have a love for the game. They got to have a passion for the game. Because our staff, myself, I love basketball. I love being part of a team. I love to grow. I love the player development. So, we want to recruit guys. When you talk about off the court, they got to have a certain set of core values that really align with us. They got to be really good humans, really good teammates. But they also got to love the game. They got to love the game. They got to love the process. They got to love the, showing up every day and have a consistent mindset and ready to work. That doesn't mean you got to be perfect. That doesn't mean you're always going to execute and play great, but just that day-to-day habits, having really good day-to-day habits is something that we look for. And even obviously these young men, they're not always going to have perfect habits either, when we're recruiting them out of high school or JUCO. And so that's part of our job as coaches, as mentors, to help them with those habits. But at the core, they got to have the core, the core beliefs that we have, and they got to be really good humans. Those are the off the court things we're really looking for.
100%. I got a few more for you, coaches. I know you got to get this recruiting event here. So I'm asking this, man, how's your phone been ringing with guys trying to play you? But you'll be a first-time head coach. How's that been, man?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't been a part of scheduling a whole bunch at SDSU over my time, but I do know it's always been extremely hard because of the success that this program's had. And but yeah, it's probably ringing a little bit more. I think people are, probably looking at this as an opportunity, maybe I'm not looking at it that way, but maybe some opponents are thinking all right, there's a change in the head coach. Maybe there's another opportunity, get in there and maybe play the Rabbits this year. So it's been ringing a little bit more than maybe former years, to play us. But we're still actually trying to find some games. So I guess if any other college coaches are watching this, the next couple of days, they can hit us up because we are still looking for some games.
Oh, they definitely watch, Coach. They definitely watch. Trust and believe they watch.
Yeah.
They do watch the show. And, Coach, last one I have for you, man, is this for you, when did you decide you want to get into coaching and make this your passion and your journey to help young men grow in the game of basketball on and off the floor?
Probably in high school. When I don't know exactly the time frame. It's probably somewhere in the middle of my high school career. I played 4 sports, so I was always involved in a team. I was always involved with a team throughout year round. And so, I kind of figured out basketball was my passion and, probably, early on in high school. And then I think, sometime in my sophomore, junior year, I just love the game and love to be around my teammates so much and to compete. I knew I wanted to do something along those lines when I got done, with college. And I just felt like I loved helping my teammates. I think I saw the game probably a little bit more, I don't want to say advanced, but I caught on to things maybe a little quicker. And I really enjoyed the aspect of like helping my teammates out through things, helping them problem solve like on the court and stuff. So I kind of felt like maybe I could be kind of good at this, and help guys get better and become better, people and obviously better players. So probably sometime in high school, like I just, felt like I wanted to be a part of the game for a long time. And, what better way than to coach and be a part of the growth of young men and still be able to do it in a really cool, situation, obviously, and compete every day at a high level.
Well, Coach, it's been fun to meet you today, man, and talk to you on the show.
Sure.
Hopefully we'll chat again down the road in the season, and hopefully we'll chat again in March after you win the Summer League title, man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be really fun. So I appreciate you having me on and obviously, spending the time. And, yeah, really good chatting and great questions, too. I appreciate it a lot.
Anytime, brother. It was fun, man.
All right. You take care. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Check The King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to The Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.